What is a fun game you play in your head to kill time? How would my life and the lives around me play out if I did this very ridiculous thing right now? Quick saving. The world would be insane. Imagine if everybody had one quick save every day. I play a fun game where I recall some recent cringy moments of mine in great detail and hate myself for a little while. I play this game, but I do it all the time. Me too, but it's not a game. Help. Just make it a game. Like the rest of my life. Got it. He said game, not joke. I'm famous for one of the hobbies I'm shit at, and someone is interviewing me. I try to piece together an elaborate cinematic universe that connects all the cereal mascots in the world together. #X200B. I didn't know how badly the world needed this until now. It exists. It is called Food Fight and ties together cereal and other brands. It was released in 2013 and stars Charlie Sheen, Wayne Brady, and Hilary Duff. I recommend watching other people watch it. I prepare a heartfelt speech explaining the space race to an American audience from 1880. I like explaining the world around me to a visitor from the 1780s. I often look around and realize how foreign day-to-day life would feel for someone time-traveling 200 plus years. Electricity, radio, airplanes, all of it is new. I wouldn't even know where to start explaining. Shit, even 20 years ago things looked a whole lot different. Imagine if you're one of many people who go to jail for 20 plus years, come out and you're almost ducked with culture and tech shock. I'm not sure if I would love it or be overwhelmed. I imagine it would be fun for a while to have all these new things to play around with. Yeah, but imagine trying to get a job and you haven't used the internet before, lol. I pretend I got stuck in the past somehow, like Back to the Future 3, and try to see what things from the future I could invent to make myself rich versus things I'm aware of but still couldn't invent if I tried. I could probably invent a very basic George Foreman grill. I've figured out that much. I do that exact thing, and it always ends with me trying to explain myself out of a situation where the locals want to hang me for witchcraft. I make up stories about people around me and why they have some item, or why they are doing X, or whatever. One time my coworker came in with a black eye and I had 20 different backstories by the end of the day. So why did they have a black eye? Not but my coworker who came in with a black eye got it because her huge dog got overly excited from seeing her come home. He jumped up to lick her but jabbed his snout hard into her eye. Her tips were through the roof that day. I think the customers thought she was a victim of domestic violence and wanted to help out. Domestic loving. I play pretend. I work in a warehouse and sometimes it's deserted here, so it's now a forward operating base repair depot for those big walking mech robots. Or if I'm out for a run and it's getting boring, I'll pretend to be rushing the enemy lines with a sword and shield. Sitting in meetings I have thought to myself, this is what Starfleet would really be like for the majority of people in it. Not everyone gets to be bridge crew or go on away missions. It's still death by PowerPoint, but now they're PowerPoints about SPACE. Right lads, this is Stacy from Intelligent Lifeform Resources. She asked the bridge if she could have a meeting with us after your shift. But sir, we're off duty after our she shut at Cadet Sayunga Gym. Please Stacy, the stage is yours. Thanks Chief Ramirez. Hi everyone, I'd like to talk to you all about making our workday a lot more efficient by using old Terran practices. We'll be talking about mindfulness, lean management and scrum meetings. Collective sigh of utter despair. Damn, I can't get the scrum board to load on Jira. Please everyone just follow along with the notes I sent out this morning. Also, I only brought 3 copies of the presentation so you'll have to share. And for those dialing in from the Gamma Quadrant, can you put your communicators on mute? There is a lot of background noise. Trying to figure out where it all went wrong. For me it was 22 years ago. Sometimes when I ride in a car and get bored I jump over street lights and other objects on the side of the road. You jump by holding your breath, the taller the object the longer you need to hold your breath to clear the object. You come back down by inhaling. It can get pretty intense and people often ask if I'm having a panic attack. I'm weird, I know. Edit, holy duckaroonie, this was more common than I thought. Someone tried doing that while driving through tunnel nearby to where I live. He passed out just as he exited the other side and crashed. Katu.com. Crown this man, we've found the champion. I'm not so sure about that. It's 772 feet long, meaning that a car traveling at the posted speed limit of 55 miles per hour would get through it in about 10 seconds. Sounds more like he started the level and walked into the first Goomba. After the news article came out, I was skeptical of the story, so I held my breath going through the tunnel. It's not even difficult to hold that long. I suspect there's something more to the story that the driver didn't want to admit. You read that he crashed holding his breath and went there to do exactly the same? I like you. On this episode of Mythbusters. When cycling and I'm tired towards the end, I flick a switch upstairs which activates the commentators, and before I know it I'm doing the last 5K of the Tour de France in a world record time. And he passes the old ladies walking their dogs, he rounds the bend of no return and he's going. Gone. He has finished in record time. Now back to you, Tom. I think about how I would explain ideas, concepts, or stories to an imaginary person. It's fun, and generally a pretty useful thing to do. A friend once told me that as he walks along the street he looks at strangers and tries to look at them as if he were their mother. He reckons it stops him from objectifying people and makes him treat people more nicely. It's quite an interesting game to play if you're bored, but I suppose the results kind of depend on your relationship with your own mum. If I'm getting angry at someone when I'm driving, I try to imagine that they are my mum, and helps me not scream abuse at them and forgive them for being a slow arse. Nice. Imagining past arguments and how I should have won them. I do this, but it's not a game and I can't control it and I suffer. Terrorist attack in my college and I save everyone. Pretend I have a wildly popular cooking show YouTube channel where walk through the steps creating my favorite dishes. In my head it's like Top Gear, but about cooking. My mom does this. I found out when I went home for the holidays and asked her how to make a sweet potato pie, and she just automatically took on this entirely different persona. Her voice, eyes, everything just flipped into Martha Stewart mode, and that's when I knew. She'd been practicing for this moment for years. I have this whole fantasy world stored in my head. When I'm bored or just listening to music, I make up new characters or stories for existing characters, maybe new places or new events, etc. World building. Yeah, I love this sub. While driving, license plates here are mainly 3 letters and 3 numbers. Try to make the longest word you can from the 3 letters that starts with the first letter and contains the other 2 letters in the order they appear. You have from when you read the plate until you lose sight of it to come up with a word. DKG 397 drinking 892 TSN tsunami. I do this, but I try to come up with the funniest combination of words for each letter. Example RBJ 124 really big Johnson Og 264 a Jack Goldfish. That's the way I play it. My sister's license plate has TPF hash, so I call her car toilet paper fart. Needless to say, she is not thrilled by this game. The alphabet game, try to come up with something starting with each letter of the alphabet based on certain topics. For example, boys' names Adam, Benjamin, Connor. When it comes to letters like Q and X, some topics can become really difficult. Quentin Xavier Y would probably be the tough one for boys' names. Edit, alright, I now know more Y names than probably every other letter. We got him. I know a guy called Yosef. My name is Yef. Benjamin. Yoshua. Yeet.